If you're watching this video, then you probably already speak at least some English, so you know that English pronunciation can be difficult. But why is it so difficult? Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Ed and I help people to improve their English pronunciation. So why is English pronunciation so hard? I think one of the reasons is because there are lots of pronunciation features which are unique to English and don't exist in many other languages. For example, according to the online phonetic database Foible, the sound exists in just 2% of world languages, while the th sound exists in just 4% and the sound exists in just 5%. So most students will find these sounds difficult. English also has a complex vowel system with 12 individual vowel sounds. In contrast, some of the world's most common languages have simple vowel systems. Mandarin has 6 vowel sounds, Arabic also has 6 vowel sounds, and Spanish has just 5 vowel sounds. Consequently, if you speak one of these languages, you're likely to find English vowels difficult. And even if your native language has a complex vowel system, like French, some of those vowel sounds may be different, so you may still struggle with English vowel sounds. Other features of English pronunciation can also cause problems. According to the linguist Moira Yip, up to 70% of the world's languages are tonal. This means pitch can change the meaning of a word. Tonal languages are common in Asia, Africa and the Americas, and include Mandarin, Igbo and Navajo. In contrast, English is non-tonal, which means pitch can't change the meaning of a word, but it can add meaning. Consequently, if your native language is tonal, then you're likely to struggle with English intonation. Similarly, English features stress-timed rhythm, which means the duration between each stress syllable is approximately the same. In contrast, some of the world's most common languages feature syllable-timed rhythm, which means the duration of each syllable is approximately the same. Languages which feature this kind of rhythm include French, Spanish and Mandarin. So if you speak one of these languages, you're likely to find English rhythm difficult. So English pronunciation can be difficult because it contains lots of features which are unique or don't exist in many other languages. However, there's a second reason why English pronunciation is so hard, and that's spelling. English spelling is only partially phonemic, which means there's a weak relationship between letters and sounds. For example, the letters P and B almost always represent the P and B sounds. However, the letters A, E, O and U can all be pronounced 9 different ways. This means it can be very difficult to know exactly how a word is pronounced if it contains one of these letters. Of course, there are some rules and patterns, but there are also lots of exceptions. In contrast, some of the world's most common languages are highly phonemic, which means there's a strong relationship between spelling and pronunciation. Arabic, Hindi, Turkish and Spanish are all considered highly phonemic, so if you speak one of these languages, you're likely to find English spelling confusing and misleading. This can be especially difficult for languages which use the Latin script, such as Spanish, because the letters are exactly the same, but the pronunciation is completely different. But it wasn't always like this. English pronunciation is constantly changing, and English spelling used to change with it. However, after the arrival of the first printing press in 1475, English pronunciation continued to change, but English spelling remained fixed in books and texts. Of course, this happened in other countries too, but most other languages have some sort of language regulator, which is an organization which constantly reviews and updates pronunciation and spelling rules. However, the English language has no regulator, so it was just left to evolve naturally and become increasingly irregular. And it hasn't just changed, it's also grown. Over the last 500 years, thousands of new words have been added to the English language, many of them from other languages, and they often feature inconsistent spelling-pronunciation relationships. So English pronunciation is unique, and English spelling is irregular, but how can we overcome these challenges? Firstly, you should perform an analysis to identify features of English pronunciation which are likely to cause problems. That means comparing your native language pronunciation to English pronunciation to identify any differences, because these differences are likely to cause problems. But you shouldn't stop there. You should also record yourself speaking English and compare your pronunciation to that of a native speaker to identify any other features which you specifically find difficult. Once you know which features of English pronunciation you find difficult, you can prioritize them in your practice. Secondly, you should try to memorize the pronunciation of words and not their spelling. This is because it's a lot easier to correct spelling mistakes than it is to correct pronunciation mistakes. So use flashcards and write common words and phrases in your native language on one side, with the English translation and phonemic transcription on the other side. Then try to remember the translation and pronunciation. If you come across a new word, you should check the pronunciation in a dictionary straight away. If after all this you still find English pronunciation difficult, remember that I have an online pronunciation course which features speech analysis and the most common words that contain each sound. I've put a link in the description below. Well, that's the end of the lesson, but what do you find most difficult about English pronunciation? Do you think English spelling should be updated? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.